Welcome to this session on generative AI, and we are delighted to be collaborating once again with SRM for this event. Our team is genuinely excited about the opportunity to interact with all of you during this session. Let's dive into the session and explore the depths of generative AI. Additionally, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Sangeeta ma'am for organizing this bootcamp and making it possible. Thank you very much for your efforts, ma'am. Over to you, Pooja.
Thanks, Pranav. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this week two virtual internship on generative AI. And I hope you guys are excited because this is the week I mentioned, which is going to be really exciting for you because we'll be able to generate content through our voice. And that's what will make this more powerful and really interesting as an overall bootcamp session. And also, you could help many people around you to also augment their knowledge going forward. So we'll be learning on the voice to image generator. Would request those who are joining to keep themselves on mute. That way it is really helpful for me to conduct the session in a smooth manner. All right. Next slide, please, Sandhya. Jayashree, I guess there was something. If you could mute yourself. All right. So I'm reminding just once again to keep it streamlined, we should be more on time. We believe 4:35 is maximum deadline at which we'll start our sessions mostly. And you should be with your laptops. There should be space in your C drive. As we saw last time, that couple of you couldn't have the kit set up there and then during the session because there wasn't much space available in your C drive. And it would be good that especially for this session you could suggest me some interesting prompts that we'll pass and get images for. And then it will be good if you listen to the instructions that I mentioned. That way you won't have doubts. You'll be able to go through this session in a very smooth, easy manner. Try to minimize the distraction, as I just mentioned. Sit in a space which is comfortable. There are no, distractions. There's no music, etc. around it. That way, you would be able to focus much more here on the session. And then, talking about your timely submissions, I hope you must have also received your badges for week one by now. If not, you have not received your badges yet. You should be able to receive them by evening today. So most of you must have already received badges. And if not, then by evening, the rest of you will also receive uh, for today. So let's get into the agenda for today's session. We'll talk about voice to image generation. We'll talk about what are the interesting tools that we'll use to generate, uh, images through our voice or speech. And then we'll do a simple exercise for the session if we, propose for. And then we will also get into a, detailed discussion on the different models that I use to develop the solution source for today. And finally, we will use Candy, which is our one-click kit solution source that helps you build up this solution onto your systems with simple few steps that you would follow alongside with me. Okay, so we'll have, in the chat, the link to the page for today's session. We'll just go ahead and use the chat functionality. Okay, all right. Click on the chat that is available. This will take me to the page dedicatedly created for this virtual internship program for week two. Here we have details on what are the objectives that you could suffice from this session. There is a 10-minute tutorial refresher video that you can go ahead and check out post the session if you would like to revisit the concepts for this session. Also, we will set up or add the recording for this session here. So post the session within an hour, the recording would be available here. So you can click on this and check out the entire recording in case You think that there is a portion of the recording that you would like to revisit. Here is your practical exercise section. So that is what helps us set up the kit, your week 2 coding exercises, and a simple sample exercise is what we are going to also do today. All right. So let's first set up the kit onto our systems. For that, I'll click on this Candy one click kit. It takes me to this one click kit installer. Here I would see that instructions are listed down. Just like the last session, we have listed down instructions to get the API key that is also required for this session. And to be able to follow, you could just follow the steps that I'm also already doing. Click on the one click installer. It downloads a zip file. You just say show in folder, extract the contents of this folder, extract all the contents. Only then go ahead and click on the batch file. You could just say more info and run anyway. So as I mentioned the last session, this is an executable file. So Windows just wants to know whether this is the right file that is being set up, and you are actually willing to set things through this file. So you could see even the progress of your setup here at the top, 5, 10, 40%. So let the setup happen. Depending on your bandwidth, it will take certain amount of time. We are using really interesting LLM models here, pre-trained models, and hence it will take some time for it to download when you work on this kit for the very first time. So you can minimize the screen and we will get into the discussion for today's session. All right. Okay. In case you have a query, you could put your query in the chat. If it is not something that is urgent, you could, just put it across in the chat and I'll take it forward from there. All right. So we'd first talk about our generative AI. We already had talked that this is one of the technologies that work using zero shot model, where you believe that the model will help you generate original content. And likewise, it will also be able to provide you applications in art, music, natural language processing, and data synthesis. So we have been able to notably know there are tools such as ChatGPT, there is BART, and there are various other, Synthesia, AI, PPT. I mean, you can't name much, but then the amount of tools there is soundbar. There is you won't believe the number of tools which are based on generative AI technologies that are available in today's time, where you could experiment based on the expectation that you have. So these models, especially, I would suggest you to use Mid Journey. Okay. Today we'll be using Delay. We've talked about this model. We just mentioned the name last time, but today we want to get into the nitty-gritties and details of how you could actually build up your own generative AI based solution, which could help you, use your voice and then generate images through it, get it recorded and then converted into text, and then that text is converted into your image form. So the process is we first use Whisper, then whatever we capture through this first tool, Whisper, we pass it on to ChatGPT, and that same is being passed through Delay E. So Whisper is again also a OpenAI's voice recognition library. This is again being trained already on hundreds of languages. Initially, it got launched with, I guess, around 18 languages. But as of today, the model is capable of identifying any language that you speak of. Most of your languages would be recognized. It works really well with obviously standard languages like English, French. However, if you try it with Tamilian or Hindi language, then it may not be exactly able to give you the perfect text for the Hindi spoken, audio that you would like to capture. So what are we looking at today? We are looking at voice capture. First, we want to capture or recognize the voice, and then that same voice that has been captured or recognized gets passed through ChatGPT. This ChatGPT, we know that it is capable to summarize, it is capable to translate, it is capable to extend the text, extend something which is incomplete. It is able to do most of your task. So here we concurrently use it for summarizing the text that is being converted after you speak or get yourself recorded, your voice recorded. So that capture is being transcribed, and then that transcribed text is being summarized before it is being passed through the delay E model. So what is so interesting about like these Whisper, ChatGPT, delay? What is common amongst these? If I ask you, has any one of you been able to figure out anything common? It's a very simple one. Whisper, ChatGPT, Delay, all these three are OpenAI tools. These are libraries that are specifically developed by OpenAI, and that is what makes it really interesting because the data that they have used to train it is again also humongously massive, and you could see the accuracy with which ChatGPT is able to recognize. Similarly, we want to do the recognition with the with our tool today. So this process where we will use voice to image generation will help us to create an image based on our spoken description as to what image we want. This has potential to revolutionize creative fields such as design, advertising. And if we talk about design and advertising, especially your marketing individuals, they'll be able to get their creatives done really quickly. You could more efficiently and effectively get visuals and content based graphics created for you there and then. So if you see, this is the example prompt that we are showcasing. Give me an image of Frankfurt City, skyline at dawn, super detailed, ultra realistic photorealism. If you see this, this is from the model that I'm going to talk about today. So, just in case you guys have also downloaded it, I would like to showcase you the power of this solution here itself. I have the kit open. So supposedly, because I would like to get your suggestions as to what prompts we should be running in here. Suppose I record, give me an image of a dog, white color dog, listening to music on the moon in high resolution. So when I submit it to the model, it will take a couple of seconds. And then let us see what this model generates. So yeah, okay, white dog on the moon, and it is listening to music. So what I'm trying to show you, this is one of the images that has been generated by Delay. I hope, and then this is the speech to text that has been transcribed. So we need three components here. One is audio needs to be captured properly. The same needs to be transcribed into text. This being summarized properly and then used in your image generation. So I hope this was an interesting one. I just showcased you one of the prompts where I had mentioned that, okay, this is skyline at dawn, super detailed, ultra realistic photograph of Frankfurt, right? If you see, there is this another interesting prompt that the moonlight dissolving into swirling sand, polymetric dust, cinematic lighting, close up portrait. So if you could see that the understanding that it has given generates some really unrealistic images as real. I mean, these are images where we may not have thought that we would want to create something like this, right? Dog on the moon listening to music. Similarly, this one. So you could combine concepts and create images which you have not even thought of as of before. So that is what is the power of, the model that we are going to work today with. We want to first focus on Whisper, which is again speech recognition model. Step one. This has been created by OpenAI. It's been trained on a large data set of diverse audios and is also multitask model that can perform various speeches that it could recognize. Let's say if you talk about Kannada, if you talk about Tamil, if you talk about a particular language, Punjabi as well, Whisper has been capable to do interactions with common people in the local language. And it could also help with translation and language identification. So that is what makes Whisper really powerful. And then our second model that we discussed last week, which is again the most interesting one of the, it's a most interesting model, which is the large language one. That it has been trained nearly on the largest number of learning parameters till the date it was introduced. So this generative pre-trained transformer GPT-3, it had nearly 175 billion machine learning parameters, which made it one of the largest language models in the world at the time when this model was released to the world. So this showcased that this specific, model, large language model, it could generate prompts and responses. I mean, it could generate responses based on a given prompt that could help us even generate images. So what are we using ChatGPT for? We are just simply using ChatGPT to summarize the text that you saw. Then finally, we want to talk about this tool called Delay. This is again another model which is the one that is responsible for generating images from the textual descriptions, the text prompts. Let's say we give it a voice input. Okay, I just showcased you, we give it a voice input, and we were able to use this multimodal implementation of GPT-3 with nearly 12 billion parameters. With nearly 12 billion parameters, we were able to swap the text for pixels, and that's how we were able to generate images. So we see that the dataset comprised of nearly 3.3 million text image pairs. However, with the delay 2, we were able to use 3.5 billion parameters and a smaller number, which is, I mean, this is the number of parameters that are pretty much three times, not even three, four times, nearly four times smaller than 12 billion parameters that were available in GPT-3. And that is how Delay 2 is able to generate, better quality images with less, in a less amount of time. So that is what this tool that we are going to use today. First, we talk about the first one with while we talk, Delay E, it was able to generate content, but this Delay E 2 is able to generate content and concepts which are even unrelated, and the images for those are pretty much there. So that has what revolutionized today. You see a lot of video content, image content being generated as reels, and all those are generated through your interesting Delay E OpenAI tool. So we would be testing some really interesting prompts today and check out this tool. But even before we go ahead and check out these prompts, let us quickly check the status of the kit. So you guys should have reached 100% setup by now. You just have to say yes and enter. Your Jupyter notebook will similarly open like you see this one. I opened for the demo for all of you. So please just say yes and set this kit onto your systems. And in case there is a problem with the setup, you would let me know. If you would like me to repeat the process of the setup, then also please put that query in the chat. I would take that up. In fact, before we go ahead and sure, sure, the process to for setup of the kit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, absolutely. So, all right, let us just quickly check how do we set up the kit. So you see that there is this SRM Institute of Science and Technology. This page link we have shared in the chat. If you've joined a little late, you could ask, you could just ask, we could reshare the link. And then if you scroll down, the practical exercise is available through this button called Candy One Click Kit. Click on this, scroll down. If you are on a Windows system, you could follow alongside with me. If you're on Linux or Macintosh, please follow these instructions that are listed down here. Then click on the one click installer. It will download a zip file. You just right click and say show in folder. Extract the contents of this folder by right clicking and saying extract all. Double click the extracted folder. Very important. Do not miss extracting the folder. Okay. Couple of you don't extract it and then start setting it up directly through the batch file. So extract it only then you would see, some size of your batch file. Then double click it, say more info, run anyway. So this will start setting this process up onto your systems. Okay, this will start setting this process up onto your systems. You just have to click, make some few clicks, right? Just like next, next, next. You just have to get to the batch file after extraction, double click the batch file, say more info, run anyway. This setup will automatically begin for you. So it's a 4-5 step process that you'll have to follow. And then you just have to say Y and enter. The notebook will automatically open for you, just like it opened for me. Okay. Now I require the API keys. So is the process of setup clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. So couple of things. If you are on a Geo fiber network, then you may have to set your network settings. I did mention it in the last session. Also, you would have received in the email a PDF that would help you guide the setup as well. In fact, if you still want to get instructions on setting your network I mean your Wi-Fi, in case you're getting some errors on the command prompt, do let me know in the chat. Okay. Okay, going forward. So going forward, we now wish to do a simple code snippet exercise. If you go down on the page, you would see that there is a simple exercise that we have put onto this page. That is resize an image with a max width and height using OpenCV. So I will just click on this search link and then just try to find a code that I feel will be good enough to run on my system. So I could just check out different solutions that are available, and based on my own intelligence and decision making, I believe this is the code that I could pretty much run onto my system. It has the required necessary import. I will copy it, then paste it in a new notebook. As I paste it, this is for setting the images width and height. And then I would try with a test image. So for a test image, I will have to go back to my folder. Okay. So currently I am hosting my folder voice to image generation. And on this voice to image generation, supposedly I want to try out this 5, 5.png. So I would just put my 5.png. I could just mention the width. You could mention the width 500. You can mention the height as, let's say, 700. And when you, mention these maximum width and height, you are also mentioning that whatever is the output, you write it to a file called out.png as resized. I will just run it. It says true. I will go back to the folder, check out the out.png. So this should actually increase the size of my image. Okay. 5 and out.png. let's try a little bit better size so that that will be more clear. Let me just say 1000, and let me just say 200. Maybe 1000 is way too much. Let us just try 900 and 1000 and try running it. Okay. Uh, Saving to out.png. Again, checking it onto the folder. Now we could see this image being pretty much resized. All right. So we could resize any image as per the width and height. It's a very simple thing. But yeah, we could also get as simple as code snippet as this. Why you don't even have to write the lines of code. Just give the image and resize your image as per your requirement. You could do it for even making the image, let's say 100 by 100. Let me try that. Will that be a passport size image? Sometimes we resize our images, right? It'll be overrating on it. See. So yeah, it becomes really small as well. Awesome. So yeah, we just did this simple, very, very simple code snippet exercise on resizing of your image. However, resize image using max width and max height, OpenCV. So primarily the library that we use is also very essential, right? That helps us make it, good enough for us. Sorry, this could be the code. Yeah. So this is the simple resizing image code snippet. But now let's get to this final solution, which is an easy one, where we are talking about generation of image. So quickly, I'll let you go through the necessary imports. We used Gradio, which is used for again the UI part, the interface. OpenAI, so we are able to access Whisper and other OpenAI tools, but also we require access to the API key, then importing the OS, and we want to essentially ignore the warnings. So there are three functions currently here after you have added this OpenAI API key. I hope you now are accustomed as to how you can add the key. If not, again, the process to be followed is go to this page, which is your kit page, get your Open API key, click here. I have multiple such keys actually that have been generated. Just copy those keys the very first time you generate them, paste the key which is working. Very important. I want you to generate a key for an account that you may have created only in the last 2.5 months. If your account is older than that, then OpenAI may have expired your credits and you may have to go for a, you may have to buy and go for a paid version. But then if you have another email ID or phone number, please use those and sign up into a fresh account so that you are able to generate a fresh key. Okay, so the key is of great importance. Then we come to the function. One is for chat GPT, another is for delay, and the third one is for whisper, which is for speech to text transcription, etc. So let's understand step by step. First, we want to understand the whisper transcribe, where we pass our recorded audio. That audio is being renamed into a file with a .wav format. This .wav format is being opened and read into this audio underscore file and into the read mode. And then with openai.audio.transcribe, we transcribe the audio file. In what do we use? The Whisper one. So even in Whisper, we have various models. So we've used the Whisper one small model, and with that we are transcribing. So transcribing is conversion of the audio into a text form. That transcript is saved in a variable called transcript. Further, we call the chat GPT API function. So your chat GPT API function is here. I'll discuss it in detail in a while. Within the ChatGPT API function, you pass the transcript alongside with the text, and that gets saved into delay prompt variable. Then you also call the delay API function. In this delay API function, you pass the delay prompt. Okay. Whatever this prompt was, that is being passed. The text is being passed and an image URL is being generated. Okay. So you don't get just the image, you actually have an URL where the image is being generated, and that image URL is used to, finally that is being returned from this Whisper transcribe on the interface here, and you are able to image. All right. So talking about the second function, let me go to the ChatGPT delay prompt. What happens here? The ChatGPT API, it takes the input text. You mention again that you are a helpful assistant. You mention the kind of role that you want your ChatGPT to exhibit, and we say if input text, whatever is your input text, you append the message to it. You give the role to your chat GPT. You are already mentioning it's a helpful assistant. You mention the user as well. What are we trying to do here? Here we just want to summarize the text into short and concise prompt. Okay. So we are not doing anything here much, but we are summarizing the text with the help of this chat GPT function that we have written. With OpenAI.chatCompletion.create, we use the GPT 3.5 turbo model. So if does anyone remember what model last session did we use? Can you put it in the chat? Let's see how many of you remember the model that we used last time. What chat GPT model had I used in last session? You remember? Vaibhavi, you remember? Go ahead and answer if you would like. Or else you could put it in the chat also. None of you remember? It was Da Vinci 003. Okay, yes. No, none of you remember. So yeah, today we are using the GPT 3.5 Turbo, and last time we had used DaVinci 003. So depending on what task we want our model to perform, today we only want it to summarize. Last time we wanted to generate content, we wanted it to behave as just a helping hand, whatever we are doing, give us meanings and everything. So with the chat underscore completion dot choices dot message dot content, we basically get the response of the text. If we want to summarize it, it gets summarized and that is returned as a reply. Then further, your delay API, where we are passing the delay prompt from here. The return reply as which we are getting, uh, here and being transcribed, we then try and create the image. OpenAI.image.create, this helps us create a image. So you can, if you want, you could also increase the size here. Currently we have mentioned 512 512. You could also go for 1024 if you would like, and accordingly the image size would be generated. So whatever is the delay response, that gets into the URL, and the URL is what is being returned as a solution. So this is the interface. One is for speech to text, right? One is the speech to text, and then the image is as delay image, the speech to text, delay image. Then you have the interface for whisper transcribe, to have source microphone, and the file path being also saved as inputs. And then you get two outputs from here. What are the two outputs? One is the transcribed text, and other is the image that you can receive from this model. So now let's quickly test some very interesting, let's try and test some other interesting prompts that you could suggest. Put some interesting prompts yourself if you guys would want for me to test and showcase to you. So currently I will just record Give me an image of a young girl with Afghani descent with striking rainbow eyes staring at the camera with a deep red headscarf. Let's see the image that the model is able to generate. So this is some Afghani decent girl. The worst part is striking rainbow eyes. It has actually added rainbow here. And you could actually save this image if you would like. Save image as this doesn't look that interesting. So let's try something else. An image of Shaggy from Scooby Doo in a cyberpunk look in high resolution. How many of you actually watched Scooby Doo in the early 90s? So you could see Shaggy in a cyberpunk look. Looks interesting. If you would like, you could just save image. You could call whatever you like. Shaggy and just say all files and save it as shaggy.png. And you could just open it in your system as well. Size, I already mentioned, you could increase the size by changing the size at the code here and rerunning it. 1024 cross 024. And I would like to run this cell. I'll have to stop this one first. And then run all. Perfect. All right. So let me try another one. A charming hedge maze dotted by rose bushes and intricately designed lamppost digital art trending on ArtStation. You could not try any celebrity images or any person who is identified as a very important person. So if you try something with Elon Musk, then OpenAI will restrict it. A reason being they don't want deep fake images to be used. So you saw this interesting one, a charming hedge maze dotted by rose bushes and intricately designed lamppost riddled art trending on ArtStation. It looks good, I believe. Does it run for you guys as well? I just hope it does run for you guys as well. This is one of the image categories also that we could try. I'll try a last one. Give me an image of a pink ape astronaut in space, holding a claymate in a photorealistic style, and that is also a digital art form. So ape holding, ape in an astronaut form in the space could be an interesting one. Let's try and see what the model gives us. The option to save image is also possible. Wait. Pink ape astronaut in space holding a claymate in a photorealistic style. That is also a digital art form. So it looks like an art form, right? That could be saved. So you may have heard of images being generated using DALL-E and in fact various other tools that stable diffusion as well that are now getting prizes at events. So that's what is happening these days, and there is no copyright infringement issue as well because all these are originally generated images. Did you try any of your prompts? Did you guys try any of your prompts? Any suggestions, any showcase that you would like to, put in the chat? Manikandan, we have a bit of noise. Okay, okay. Karthik, last time we had an issue with your drive space. So this time also you need to clean up your C drive before mentioning an error. And if you are getting an error, then the account needs to be not expired. You Okay, Mohammed says when I add audio and submit, it shows error on right side fields. All right. Okay, okay. Mohammed Yassine, uh, can we just check out? Okay, Karthik. Thanks. If you would be able to fix it, that is great. Uh, so Mohammed, if it is showing an error on the right side, then just after you put the key, we will have to check your account as well, Mohammed. Is it a latest one? When I say latest one, it should be not older than 3 months. OpenAI account from where you're putting the key. Created during last session. Okay, awesome. And it has credits as well. Can you share screen and show? After recording, there is error. So then we will have to see. One of you, if you could share your screen, please. Mohammed or either Raj.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, Raj, it's visible. Let's go to the kit. Can you scroll down a bit? I just want to check if there is some error that is being showcased at the bottom. No error. All right. Let's go up. All the way up. Just want to check out the key. Okay. This is the same key that for which you are able to run the chat GPT kit, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Then this should not throw an error. What are you trying to search? Can we check? I mean, what are you trying to generate?
Yeah. Indian cricket team playing on moon.
Okay. Okay. Let me try the prompt myself here.
Fine, fine, ma'am.
Image of Indian cricket team playing cricket on the moon. I'm not sure they'll be able to generate multiple people playing cricket. But it is not giving error for me, huh? A bit weird, but yeah, some sort of cricketish image. Not that good, but yeah. Let us just check check your. Please reshare. Yeah, Raj. One more thing. In case you are downloading the kit, and then you just stop in the middle and restart downloading on that same copy. Don't do this, okay? Couple of you, what happens? I'll tell you. Couple of things you have to follow as a troubleshooting for your kids. Let's say I see that my kids are in C Candy Kids. Okay, when you set this kit here, okay, what happens? I go to the downloads, I go in my kit installer, I start installing the batch file from scratch here. Please don't do that. Okay, sometimes you do it after opening it. Suppose it doesn't run. The thing is, you should go here. Please delete it, and if you want to install it, install it from scratch, only then you go back in your downloads and start installing again. If you already have a copy, okay, if you already have a copy in your Candy kits, just go to the kit voice to image generation, go to the log files. In the log files, you see transfer is complete. All the requirements are already satisfied. We just have to check if there is any error. It is saying installing, successful installation, collection, every dependency. When I say why is this kit interesting, it is, can you see the number of tools and libraries it is already setting up for you in the background? You don't have to start from scratch at all. Everything is already present. So in case it takes a longer time, then it is also mentioning it is taking longer than usual. You might need to provide the dependency resolver. All right. But then it was able to, let's say, collect so many other requirements. And if you look at this collected packages, this kit actually requires, a lot of packages. So just in case, please delete this copy and delete it from Candy Kits and set up a fresh one and then try checking. Okay. This is one of the rule. And then you would see your Jupyter notebook should also open here just in case you still have trouble. So then the thing is, go to this page, hit this reply button and put your query with a screenshot. That way, it will be easy for me to check the problem. So on the right side where you are getting the error, just delete it and reset it up once. If you have double clicked it or clicked, multiple times or something. So I guess this is it from today's kit. This is a very interesting one. Usually, most of our sessions where we talk about this voice to image, they go really interesting. And I hope even you guys are able to set it onto your systems and work around this solution and generate interesting art through it. So this is it from the concurrent session. This is a small short session, but for the coming session for week 3, I would want you to be prepared. Okay. I want you to be prepared with please be prepared for being photo ready. There's something interesting that we'll do in the week 3. So please be comfortable, sit in a place where you could, I could also see you guys. So informing you in advance, week 3, we'll need you to be on the video. That's it. So my entire team will also be doing that. You please also participate in the best possible manner. Do we have any questions apart from the errors? Do you think there's something interesting that we could discuss regarding the solution, regarding this innovation? Any comparisons that you would like to do or something? Raj says I didn't attend last session, but did all the assignments and kit installation is there. Anything I missed? No, Raj. Primarily, you just need to understand the kit. And if you would like to revisit anything from the session at all, primarily, so you know the drill. Just go here. You all should be signed up. If you click on the live sessions and events, you would see that your virtual internship session program 1 is available here. So just click on this here, okay? That way you will be also able to check out the entire session's recording, okay? So, all right. You could go and check out the entire session's recording by clicking on the click here. Okay, awesome. Anything else apart from that, guys? Okay, one final closure, you should know that your exercises for this session, sorry, the exercises for this session, your week 2 coding exercises, these are available here. This help you get your second level badge. And the interesting part is that all these solutions that you're submitting in the generative AI domain will keep you at a top notch level. These are the latest tools and technologies that not everybody still is talking, but yes, most of the latest, uh, tech enthusiast, if you see, they would talk about Delhi, they'll talk about Midjourney, they'll talk about, these videos being created. So the third session is also very interesting. It's on deep fake detection. Go ahead and check out our coding exercises. That will also help you augment your knowledge a bit on how you could use Candy. Okay. So you know that you could use Candy by clicking on candy.openview.com. And here you just have to make some quick search to get any specific function, just like this one which we used for resizing an image with max width and height. So I hope this was helpful. Uh, Please do go ahead and work around with your exercises by clicking on the coding exercises, filling up the details on the form, and yeah, just mention the name of your college. Very important. Use that same email ID, etc. Only then we'll be able to check your submissions and forward it to your institute as well. So these are the questions that you may have to answer. And then these are the exercises. These will look really simple once you start using Candy for getting solutions around these. Okay. So thank you so much for the session today. Uh, Divya says, so these kits that we are providing you, Divya, are all called Candy kits because Candy signifies, knowledge and intelligence, where we want you to make it easy for you. This internship that we're doing today basically helps you use two features. One feature is the kit, okay, that will have the solution source and everything ready for you. You just have to download the dependencies, and I mean everything happens automatically. But the Candy Kit, the search feature where you're able to get to the code snippets, you just have to learn to use the right keywords and get to the right code snippet so that you can use into your solution source. Week 2 assignment link. So Shruti, the week 2, yeah. Okay, thanks team. I think my teammate just shared the link for the week 2 assignment, which is available on the community page, specifically dedicatedly created for SRM University. Uh, okay, badges, Raj, you get onto your email, but then for that your solutions are accepted. You open the Google form, and once you submit the solution on the Google form, you will receive a message that your answers are recorded properly. The exercise we do is little hard at the beginning, ma'am, and as there are many new libraries. So Karthik, that's what we want. You are able to actually get industry ready by this, not giving you entire theory, but still getting you the availability of the right resource to make the search and get one level higher. That is how you'll be able to say that yes, I'm industry ready and I'm able to work into solutions where I'm just learning about so many different libraries, solutions. So little bit hard work you'll have to do, but it is spread across a week. That's why we spread it across a week so that you can keep trying for an entire week if you would like. But if someone can get solutions, you could actually do it in, couple of hours also, 3-4 hours also. So we'll have to keep the level. Generative AI is, the best uh, content that you're doing, the best domain you're doing as of now. If you go for web development, if you go for data analysis, AI engineering, those are simpler domain virtual internships that we have proposed. But generative AI is the latest. We'll have to keep it top notch, team and my dear students. So that's why you may find it a bit hard, but you would get accustomed to it. So currently, we are not saying that you need to be exactly onto the point. We want you to try and get to a, snippet and a solution that is running. That is our intention. So that you're able to, get to some solution source and then showcase that, okay, this is what I've attempted. This is my Jupyter notebook. This is the code, and that's how I'm able to get to a solution. And also weekly, Sandhya, we are also sending them the solutions, right?
Yes, yes.
So you will also receive, I think we've already sent them for this week.
No, we will send this week. Job.
Okay. We'll be sending you solution for your week 1 exercises this week. So that will also help you enhance your confidence. The entire, so if you want, I'll also say, just check out the mails that you receive from us. That way you will enrich, more and more, upgrade yourself more and more. Even the solution source that you have submitted, you could check one of the solution source. We will send it across to you. All right, I think this is it from my end. I look forward to you guys being, in a camera ready mode in the coming week. Upcoming Wednesday, please be camera ready. That way, we'll be able to make the session more and more interesting going forward. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Pooja.
Thank you, Pooja, for your informative session. Thank you, participants. We will see by the next week.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am,
Thank
for
you.
your support throughout the session.
Thank you so
Before
much.
ending, students, please complete your coding exercise for week 2 by next Monday, which is the 17th of July, in order to receive your level 2 badge. So we will also send you a follow-up email regarding the coding exercise with all the resources. So please check your inbox, spam folder and junk folder as well. So if you're having any queries, you can clarify now. If
Yeah,
not,
regarding all the emails, etc., you are receiving your badges or not, you could put that as well. Some of you will receive by the evening based on, our team is trying to pump the badges based on the solutions that have been submitted. And apart from that, very necessary, check your spam folder, trash, or no, not the trash, but yeah, in case you don't see an email from us with the answers to week 1 as well. We'll send that as well to you. Awesome.
yes.
Raj mentions it has been received by him as well. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. And yes, third session, something very, very more interesting we'll do where we'll talk about how you can use responsibly. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh, okay, Divya. Just in case you feel that you're getting